Bonjour, Kinamagi and Ireland Adishnikas, and welcome to this production of the My Math Network. Today's topic, Chapter 10, Lesson 1, Hands-on, Part of a Number. And introducing our new essential question for this chapter, what strategies can be used to multiply and divide fractions? Let's begin by looking at what the homework will look like today. So you have a visual of where we're going with this morning. You can see we're going to be using bar diagrams to do things like find 3/4 of 40. And if you notice, when you do this kind of problem, you divide the whole number by the denominator so that you get segments. So 40 divided by 4 was 10. And then so you have 10, 10, 10, and 10. 3 of those groups, so 10 plus 10 plus 10 are 30. 3/4 of 40 is 30. So you have a couple problems where you need to draw the bar diagram. Most of them. And then number 6 will be a challenging one. Write a real world problem that could represent the bar diagram shown. Essentially, you're writing your own story problem. I think you can do it. I have faith in you. So let's begin in our book today. And this is on page 707. So all students should be on 707. The expectation is that when we fill things in, you should fill it in as well. That way you have an artifact at the end that you can look back on when it's time to do the assignment or prepare for an assessment. If at some point we're moving too fast, feel free to pause the video while you're writing something in and then unpause it when you're ready. And I generally will give you just a little bit of a heads up by saying when I'm going to clear the screen. That usually gives you a second or two where you could pause the video. So let's begin here on the draw it. And it says, Leah threw 16 pitches in the first inning of a softball game. Of the pitches she threw, 3/4 of them were strikes. How many strikes did she throw? So we're going to be multiplying 3/4 times 16. And in this case, we're going to do some multiplying, but by dividing first. What is 16 divided by 4? If you said 4, you are correct. And that's reflected here is 4 pitches, 4 pitches, 4 pitches, 4 pitches. So 4 groups of 4, total 16. If I want to know how many were strikes, and I know that 3/4 of them were, I'm going to add up 3 of the boxes. So 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is, you're right if you said, well, we're not quite that far. I'm going to almost give you an answer. Since the denominator is 4, the bar diagram was divided into 4 equal sections, and each section of the bar represents 4 pitches. So go ahead and write those 2 4s in before I move on. So I got a little ahead of myself there compared to the book. All right, let's keep moving through the book here. Now we're to where I was. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. So 3/4 of 16 is 12. So Leah threw 12 pitches or 12 strikes. Go ahead and write those 3 12s in. And again, all we did is we figured out how many pitches per section and then added those sections up. So 16 divided by 4 was 4, and 3 groups of 4 would be 12. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear the drawings, and you should turn to the top of the next page, 708. Find 1/3 of 15 using a bar diagram. Before you start, helpful hint, The word of means to multiply. So 1/3 of 15 means 1/3 times 15. And I'll give you a little other hint. When you go to do these, 15 over 1 makes it easy. So what was my total that I'm being multiplying by? 15. And there are 1, 2, 3 sections, and that's correct because there's 3 right there. What's 15 divided by 3? You're right if you said 5. So now I have, since the denominator is 3, the bar diagram was divided into 3 equal sections, and each section of the bar represents 5. So this is step 2. 3 and 5. Make sure this is all written in before we move to step 3. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear the drawing. All right. 1/3 of 15 is the same as 15 divided by 3, which is the same as 1/3 times 15. What is 1/3 of 15? 5. So there's 5 in one of those boxes. So 1/3 of 15 is 5. So go ahead and write in both 5s. Okay, let's talk about it. You do not have to write this in. Explain why 1/4 of 16 is the same of 16 divided by 4. Well, remember that when we're multiplying by a number less than 1, we're actually making our answer smaller. And also remember that the inverse operation would be the equivalent of 16 divided by 4 over 1, or 16 divided by 4. On this one, 16 divided by 4 is 4. 3 times 4 is going to be 12. You go 3 times 16, you get 48 divided by 4 is 12. All right, let's give you guys some practice. I want you to do numbers 3 and 4. When you're doing these, pause the video, unpause the video, and you're ready to go over the answer. You may pause the video now. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So there's 6 in each. And I only needed the total of one section. So 1 times 6 is 6. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So I put 5 in each. I only needed 2 of those sections. And 2 times 5 is 10. All right, let's do these two, and then we'll move on towards the homework. 2/3 of 18 and 9 times 1/3. You may pause the video now. All right, welcome back. Let's see how you did. So 2/3 of 18. Let's grab myself the annotation tool. So 18. And that means each box is going to have 6. And I need 2 of them. 6 plus 6 is 12. 9 times 1/3. So that means each section will have 3. And I only need one of those sections, which means 3. So on the homework, you are going to create those kind of bar diagrams, and you could draw it out further than I did on the checking your work, and that would be fine. If you have questions, please reach out during class time to me or to send me an email and I will send you some more information. Have a minute, Gijigad. Minwa, Mama P.